What's up, Carlos? Evan, y'all let me know you can hear me. Mark, Mr. William, Roland. Yeah, I'm about to mute the TV. Give me just a second. Tyrus. What's up, Scott? I don't know. I didn't watch any of the Michigan game. I didn't play the Michigan game. Didn't play the Auburn game. What's up, Jerry? Yeah, Auburn's smoke and mirrors, guys. But I think I've said that many times. They're not a bad team. They're just not anything near what the world was giving them credit to be. Roy finally had the boys dialed in today. Garrison Brooks. Great game today. I mean, to be honest with you, the whole team played great today. But you know what? I'm glad he let his two bigs play Carolina ball. I mean, it's Roy and Dean's system. And they've been steering away from that to try to compensate for, Anthony not being there. They didn't do it against Virginia Tech in the second half, and they didn't do it today. They played Carolina ball. I say they outplayed Virginia Tech. They ended up losing in double overtime, and they absolutely smoked Miami today. We had Carolina. It was -5.5. They took care of business. Now we've got Louisville -9.5. That looks like that'll be an easy winner. Jerry, you just sent me a text. Oh, I got you. The only reason I don't, I shouldn't word it like that, Steven. I don't like the total of the game because the numbers support the under. But being that you've got some stud players out for Kansas, that's going to make other guys want to step up and compensate for that. So I think they're going to shoot the three ball more. So it's going to depend on whether or not they get hot from behind the arc. And we all know that when Kansas gets hot from behind the line, they're just as dangerous as Duke, and they're just as dangerous as Louisville from three-point range, if not even more so. And if that happens, that game will go over with 5 minutes remaining. So that's what it's going to depend on. So honestly, truth be told, if I was forced to play the total, I'd play over because of that. Sorry, guys. What's up, Keith? Yeah, I've got an opinion on that game, Steven. It's actually on my card today, so. We've got a pretty big card today. But, I mean, hell, when you have 146 or 144 games, it's to be expected. Just need Louisville to go ahead and close this one out. Clemson sucks. What's up, Bill? That one is, or that game, Chad, is on my card tonight. Tell you what, when we get to 50 likes, I'll give you my play in that game. Yes, I do think. Well, it's. Do I think Illinois is the real deal as far as a good team? Yes, I do. I mean, they're rated 21st in my system, 21st overall. So, the experts don't see it that way, but I see Illinois as a true top 25 team. I've got Michigan as a true top 25 team too, but they're very, very close. I mean, not even a full point as far as the way that my point system goes when it's ranking, what I put into place to spit me out a number so that we can, have a numerical value to it. Not even a full half point separates Michigan and Illinois. The thing is, with this game, it's all situational, guys. Is Michigan the better team than Illinois? Yeah, on paper and most nights. But there's just times where certain teams match up to certain opponents very well, and it gives them the edge. Case in point, Indiana, Marquette. Did I mention what my game of the week was rated? It's rated game of the week. Not sure I understand that question. Um, Kentucky and Texas Tech. Texas Tech is also a team that's a lot of smoke and mirrors, in my opinion. Is Kentucky the better team? Yeah, by a long shot. They're better coached. They're faster. They're better at controlling the ball. But I'm telling you right now, the Big 12 has been, obviously under the shadow of Kansas for 50 years now. So anytime a Big 12 opponent gets to have national spotlight, they want to take advantage of it. Texas Tech is now like Clemson. They consider themselves a basketball school. It's funny. But I'm telling you tonight, again, situationally, Texas Tech has the upper hand in this game. Do I think Kentucky can win? Oh, absolutely. They should. But again, young guys on the road in a hostile environment, just kind of like Duke at Little John. I think tonight, even though Kentucky's the better team, and even though I would personally be pulling for Kentucky to win this game, I think that Texas Tech has the upper hand. Oh, 95.71%. And that was me being kind of conservative about it. I didn't take in any. It could have been rated higher had I taken in home court, which I did not. I know you like to figure that out, Scott, but don't like the reason that I don't ever give those out is because there's a reason it wasn't rated as such. I rate it the way that I do because that's what I believe it needs to be rated. So I just don't want you to step out and say, well, it was very close to making game of the year, and then you step out as such, and then God forbid it were to lose, and then you lose a lot more than you had to or were instructed to play. T Blizz, I can't help you there, brother. What are you using? Are you using a phone, tablet? What are you using? Maybe I can help you. Evan, the best one is the 1 year all access. That's going to give you everything. It gives you every sport, every play, every game of the week, game of the month, game of the year in all sports. It also gives you my NASCAR guy, Patrick, the best NASCAR capper in the entire industry. You'll also get all of his plays. The 1 year all access gives you everything. So it doesn't matter what it is, if it's futures bets. I mean, anything that gets released on my site for 365 days, you get it. That is the best one. If you broke it down and bought everything separately, we've done the numbers. It would cost just over $19,000. If you buy it, obviously in the package, the 1 year all access is $4,000. Cheapest in the business for what it is. And I'll tell you this. If you've never been on a long-term package, that's my goal, is to turn everybody into long-term customers. Somebody that's going to follow the system, bet as I say. If you want the 1 year all access, today and today only, I'll hook you up and I'll give you an even bigger discount. Hell, I'll give you $1,000 off. You can get it for $3,000. That offer's good right now. Yeah, NASCAR starts in less than a month. When is the first race? Patrick texted me the other day and said that he had already, because I think I'm going to go to that first race with him, the Daytona 500 in February. February the 16th. Guys, just so you know my travel schedule, I'll be in Philadelphia one day this week, but it's just a day trip up and back. Just got to handle some business up there. Um, on February the 8th, that is not this coming Saturday, but the next. So 2 weeks from today, I will be in Chapel Hill, North Carolina with my dad for the Duke, North Carolina game. So there's that. Spring training coming up. Opening day. Scott, I'll make a bold prediction. I think the Red, and I don't even know what their schedule is coming back from the All Star break. I bet they win one of the first two games coming back from the All Star break. They don't have anybody in playing in the game, do they? Not unless Larkin's playing, but I don't think Dylan Larkin's playing. Yeah, Philly fans suck. I don't know. Whenever I've gone to Citizens Bank in Philadelphia to watch the Cubs play, they've always been pretty cool there. Eagles fans suck. Sixers fans suck too. But you know what? Sixers fans are like the stereotypical basketball fan. Like they don't watch it if their team's losing. You know, they only pay attention if their team's in the playoffs, and all of a sudden they're diehard basketball fans. Mark, I'd go to Cappers Direct. Their their UFC guy's like my NASCAR guy. He's in the industry. He's at every fight. He knows the fighters. I mean, he actually works in the organization. So I think Kyle and I are probably going to do the same thing we did last year. He's going to start selling my NASCAR on his site, and I'm going to start selling his UFC. We've just been so busy with things going on. I know that they've been making, a lot of, getting ready for March Madness. I mean, there's just so much crap going on right now. It's hard to work within try to get two companies merged together to do something. But if you just either reach out to them via email or phone, I mean, you can go to their website, just call their 1-800 number, ask for Kyle. They'll forward you directly to his cell phone if he's not in the office. And just tell him that I told you to call. He'll take care of you. I know nothing about the UFC, but I can tell you this. Out of all the UFC cards that he sent me, and he sends me just about all of them, I think there's only been 3 times where I didn't make money. Walter, I don't even know if it'll let me get off of here to check my email. Oh, Jesus, God in heaven. Somebody just sent me an email and said, "Can you send me your game of the week? Let me give you a try. If it wins, I'll buy." Give me a break. Scott says, "Didn't appreciate you digging on my Spartans the other day in your video. Hell of a call, though. I, of course, did not follow you and lost because of it." I'm telling you, man. The Sparties just ain't about that national championship life. They're a better team than Indiana, but Indiana matches up well to them. All right, well, there's another winner just cashed. We had Louisville minus 9.5. Some people may have gotten it at 10, but they won by 18. And that was them being very gracious to Clemson in the later parts. Nah, Randy, you can still buy. There's two. What are you wanting? The game of the week, or are you wanting just the daily top play? Because there's two daily top plays. One goes, you still got about 15 minutes to purchase one of them, and then the other one doesn't go until tonight. So yes, plenty of time, and then you got till 6:30 to get the game of the week if you want it. Why did it piss you off? Because Indiana, well, and the refs tried to give that game back to Michigan State. They tried their damnedest to do so. Indiana whooped them for 40 solid minutes. They exposed everything that is Michigan State. That crowd was in it from the beginning to the end. Yeah, I think they have a wild card shot. It's all going to depend on what Cleveland and Minnesota do. Minnesota's still going to be the front runner in the AL Central, in my opinion, because I think Cleveland's going to, whether they make a trade early in the year, if they start really going on a tear, they may hang on to Lindor for a little bit longer. Otherwise, I see Lindor leaving. That's going to take them out of contention, I believe. So I think that the White Sox have a wild card chance. But if something happens with the Twins and they, have some pitching issues, then yeah, they could win the Central. They're going to give the Central a run for their money this year. It's not going to be, and I think in the end it'll end up being Minnesota, then Cleveland, then Chicago. But we'll see. Kansas City's going to start getting on the up and up here too. I'll bet you $50,000 right now, Scott, they don't win next year. I'll bet you $25,000 they don't make the Final Four next year. And I'll bet you $10,000 that North Carolina goes farther than Michigan State next year. And I'll bet it even if Cole Anthony leaves after this year. North Carolina's got 4 McDonald's All-Americans committed to come in next year. And the fact that Cole Anthony may very well come back, best point guard in the country. Or at least he will be the best point guard in the country because Duke's going to clean house again. Yeah. Yeah. Michigan State can go get whoever they want. Kevin Durant himself couldn't come to Michigan State and win them a national championship. It's got to take a team to do it. That's what I'm saying. Michigan State's great at a lot of times having like the best player in the country, or at least, a top 3 player. But the problem is they've also got at least one below average player. They get riddled with injuries. They don't manage their, they do horrible time management with their players. We've had this conversation. They screw themselves half the time. That's why I'm saying I'll be happy to lay that money. I've already got $20K on Michigan State not making Final Four this year that we bet at the beginning of the year between myself and a Michigan State alumni, one of my best friends. He wanted the bet. I took it. I'd probably take him right now that they don't make the Elite Eight. No odds, straight up. I'm not dogging on Michigan State. Michigan State's a great team. They're just not. They're not a top 5 team. They're not a championship team. And it also doesn't help them this year that they're playing in the most dominant conference in basketball. But no odds. It'll be, are you willing to back that they win a national championship next year, or that they make the Final Four, or that they make the Elite Eight, something like that, or that we can just go straight up and say, so you're saying their troubles are and isn't. That's a very big part of it. He reminds me of Rick Barnes, somebody that can put a fantastic squad on the floor and cannot go win big games. Last year, does anybody remember they were saying that Rick Barnes, that Tennessee team, was the best team Rick Barnes had ever had, and they were the front runner to win it all, and nobody was even close. You can go back and watch videos I posted, Twitter posts that I said that Tennessee was not anywhere close to the best team in the country. And last year, Tennessee got beat by somebody. I don't remember who it was. I can go back on Twitter and look, but I made a prediction that day that Tennessee was going to fall at home, and I think I got a death threat that day. Needless to say, Tennessee got worked at home. I think the more fun would be that whether you get Bates or not, and whether Cole Anthony stays or not, we have a bet on who goes farther next year, North Carolina or Michigan State. I'll go $10K North Carolina, but we have to do it before we know anything. So that means you may or may not get Bates, and I may or may not have Cole Anthony. And guess what? Most of the team you're watching right now for North Carolina, each individual player is very talented, and they're seniors. I don't think Purdue is the game I'm talking about. That doesn't sound right. And maybe it was. I don't know. That was a year ago. I remember when they were ranked 8th in the country 2 years ago, and North Carolina had not played up there. God, it had been a long time. And I went up to Knoxville to watch that game. That place was loud. Irie, I can't answer your money line questions anymore. I've been getting emails from people going, "How dare you give out money lines that are minus 600?" And I emailed them back. I said, "The hell are you talking about?" They said, "Every time I come into the live chat, you're talking about a huge money line play, and there's people in there that are talking about they played it and everything. That's a joke. You're going to cost someone their entire bankroll." And I said, "I've never given out that." I said, "It's somebody that always tunes into my live show that does that. I don't." So I'm not even going to respond to those big money line plays anymore, because I think people are misinterpreting that like somehow I'm involved, and I am most certainly not. All right, so let's do this, guys. I've got some free plays to give out tomorrow, Keith, as soon as, well, according to Five Dimes, because I talked to Five Dimes customer service this morning, and they put me on the phone with somebody. Five Dimes is going to have a few props that I think that I'm going to want to play that William Hill already has, but I'm going to actually go off of Five Dimes lines for the props, because I know that 90% of people that are going to be on this are going to be betting the props online versus at a casino. So I'm going to use the the Five Dimes odds for them, and they said that they're going to come out tonight. And it's some fun props that I think you guys will like. But nevertheless, I'm playing them because I believe in them. I just have to get the odds. So once that comes out, everything else is essentially done. I just have to post it. No, I'm not talking about March Madness, Steven. This was in regular season. Tennessee was at home. They were the number one team in the country. They were unbeatable. They were the greatest team since Jesus played, with the disciples. And I put on Twitter before the game started, I basically had a top play money line against Tennessee. And I decided to put it out on Twitter on a little video. And I actually got a death threat. I don't know if the guy was being serious or not, but I got some hate messages for that one. But needless to say, Tennessee got beat. By start of the tournament, you talking about by the start of this year's tournament? Because the bet's going to be on next year's team, obviously. Are you saying you want to have the bet in by this year's tournament? Oh no, I know they are, Irie. The thing is, people like to pop in, and like I think you guys remember me saying the other day that I wasn't going to, like, I didn't want, like, if I give out a free play, I don't want somebody being able to come in here 40 minutes in and going, "Hey, what I missed? What are the free plays?" And so, somebody just put it out there and then they leave, because it's not fair that you guys will come in here and spend an hour with me, converse everything, and all that, and they come in for 30 seconds, get what they want, and leave. So I'm like, you know what? Don't even put it out there. If they want the plays, they can take the time out to watch it like everybody else does. So that's what they do. They pop in and they just hear me say money line or hear me respond to something you guys said, and it just causes me headache that I have to get 1,000 emails about it. So that's why I just said, I don't care what you guys talk about. I'm just not going to respond to them anymore. Okay, let me do something real quick. Let me get this bet in real quick. Yeah, that's fine. Somebody just sent me a text that, sorry, I can't talk right now. Well, I don't know who you are. So that's good to know. All right, let me look at something real quick. We'll do a free play, and then I've got to go grab something off the printer. Because there is one bet that I have yet to put in, because I'm going to use a local guy. Oh, man. I'm so freaking tired, guys. Starting to finally feel better, though. If you guys got a chance, play Abilene Christian on the money line. I think they're laying a point, so you probably lay about $1.25. I also kind of like New Hampshire on the money line. I think they're laying a point. Uh, what time is it? Oh, guys, I may have screwed you there. I think they win at 4. But no big deal. I got plenty of free plays. That wasn't one of the free plays I was planning on giving you anyway. That's just one of the games that I liked. So let me do this. We got 35 likes. We need 15 more. Oh, Irie, listen. You're taking what I'm saying the wrong way. I don't mind you talking about it. What I'm saying is I'm just not going to respond to it. That way nobody can say that I was saying anything about it. Yeah, Keith, I think you and I have already talked about it, but the official play will be released by tomorrow. So nobody, if you've already asked me about the Super Bowl and I've already given you some early thoughts on it, don't say anything, and try not to send me 1,000 emails or text about it because everybody will get it that's on it. They'll get it by tomorrow. Line's not going to change. I don't think the line will change, if at all. I don't think it'll change. I think it'll stay the way it is. But I've pretty much had my thoughts on the Super Bowl since the Super Bowl matchup was decided, and I've tried 1,000 ways to change my own mind, and I've yet to even come close. So I don't think that. But here's the thing: anybody that's been following me for the last few years, I've gone against what most people think in the Super Bowl since I've gone public, and I've yet to lose one. Everybody thought that the Phillies Patriots would go under. Nope. Everybody told me that the Rams would win last year. The entire world said the Rams were going to win. I had most of my clients tell me when I gave them the Patriots as a top play. Well, I gave them the Patriots as a play of the year against Kansas City the week before. Nobody followed me. I know Jerry Valdez followed me. I know he did because him and I were talking. Most of the people were like, sorry, you're wrong. You're going to lose. Love you, but sorry. And, of course, I won. And then when I picked them to win the Super Bowl over the Rams, again, they faded me, and we see what happened. What's up, Tim? All right, guys, let me grab something off the printer real quick. No, I was on the over. Did not play the side of that one. I was pulling for the Patriots, but I didn't put money on the Patriots. My official Super Bowl bet that year was over. I had a lot of prop bets on the Patriots that year. All right, let's see. All right, Scott, run the chat for a minute. Let me go pull something off the printer, and let's do some. I've got a few free plays I'm going to give out. If you want, I told somebody earlier, I don't remember who asked, but they were asking me about the Gonzaga game. I've got a play on the Gonzaga game. I will give it out for free after we hit 50 likes. But I have some games that just barely miss the cut of being a premium play. So I decided not to release them on the card, that I would do it in the chat. So let's build these likes up. And let's give them out. I'm going to go grab something off the printer real quick. So, Scott, you run the chat. I'll be back in a second, and we'll start giving some of these out. Because I'm going to stay live for about another 20, 25 minutes. And then, yeah, I'm done for the day. These nights of hour sleep I'm over it. I'm ready for baseball season. 144 games in a day is just too many. Oh, yeah, it was you. I just said something that I would, once we hit 50 likes, I'll talk about the Zona game. I thought you said Gonzaga. I'm not on the Arizona game. Anyway, I'll be back in a second. Force a play for once. No. I don't force anything. I mean, I'll give you what I think about the game, but it's going to be up to you to play it because I'm not. Is Vegas Dave a real person? I mean, yeah, he's not a robot. Yeah, I mean, he's a real person. I mean, he's your typical tout. I don't know. I don't know the guy personally. I mean, I've seen him before. I mean, I know that some of the material items that he claims to have, he does, or at least they're in his possession. So take that for what it is. I don't know. For someone to win as much as he does, and I don't know, man. I think it's all one big game. He's the king of futures, he says, because he hit that Kansas City bet. But the thing is like, I don't understand how hard that was to do. Kansas City was in the World Series the year prior. So, and they were the team coming back with almost the exact same team. So it wasn't that big of a long shot to say that Kansas City was capable of winning the World Series. Now, had he predicted in the year prior that they would have won the American League, that would have impressed me. I've reached out to him, and since he's the king of futures, and asked him would he like to do a video together where he predicts the outcome of a baseball season on video, and I do it side by side with him, and we see who wins, because he said. Will you up your units in the future? Oh, I mean, yeah, every 3 years I do it. Or every fourth year. So for 3 years, I go in, I bet the same amount on everything, just the way that I rate it. And, I put back, resave to reinvest, and then I restructure the bankroll in that fourth year, and I start going more. So after this year, I'll be restructuring, and if everything goes right in 2020, I'll go from $1,000 per premium and $3,000 per top play. 10 dimes on every game of the year. My average premium wager will be 3 dimes. Hopefully, starting January the 1st of 2021. Yeah, if you have, well, I don't know if you. It depends on what Victor. It depends on what package you have. If you are on the NFL package this year, then yes, you will get the Super Bowl. But if you're just on like a regular 3-day package or something, then no, it'll be separate. Oh, Jesus Christ. Single bet on a single game. On one single game, 47 grand, I think it was. Oh, all right, let's do some free plays. What time is it? It's just after 4:30, so geez, what game was that? Game 1 of the NLDS Cubs versus Cardinals 2015. The Cubs swept the series. The Super Bowl package is going to be $25. The only people that will get the Super Bowl pick along with the props and everything are 1 year all access, somebody that had the NFL season, or they buy the Super Bowl package. All right. I mean, if you want my thoughts on Arizona State, Arizona's the better team. Arizona State's the faster team. That's one thing that scares me about this game. Just because they're the faster team, if they were on the road, that wouldn't mean as much to me. But being that they're at home and they're the faster team, that can pose a very big problem for Arizona. Now, in the same sentence, we kind of have to go off of the fact that defensively, Arizona holds a very large edge. Arizona State just defensively cannot match up with Arizona. But if you get the crowd into it and they go on a run and they start rattling Arizona, then that defense obviously won't play as big of a factor during those times of the game. Arizona's the better team. That's not up for debate by me or anyone. if this was a home game for Arizona, I would probably be on Arizona. If somebody made me bet this game, I'd put fun money on it and take Arizona State on the money line just for shits and giggles, even though I wouldn't like the bet. Because at home, a rivalry like that against two schools that don't really know what they are. They don't know if they're a football school, a basketball school, or a baseball school. They don't know. I would say that both of the schools are glorified baseball schools more than anything if you really want to talk about, since inception. So, again, there's no value in this game in my eyes. I think that Arizona is the better team. I think that being that this is the rivalry that it is, it's an in-state rivalry. The schools aren't that far apart. The schools do not like each other. It seems as though whenever one team is having success in a certain sport, the other team can be so far off the radar you don't even realize they still exist, and then all of a sudden they come out of nowhere and they're playing just as good. Hence the 13-5 record versus the 11-7 record or 11-8 record, whatever Arizona State has. But again, this game scares me a little bit because you just don't know in the Pac-12 what these teams are going to do. The Pac-12 is so overrated. I think the only two true contenders in the Pac-12 are USC and Oregon. And I think that the front runner outside of those, truth be told, is Washington. I think Washington's being overlooked by the entire world. When I capped this game, I had Arizona at -3. Well, they were at -5. I had them at -2. Obviously, once you take in 3 points for them being on the road in a rivalry game. Being that it's a rivalry game, being it is what it is, if I were going to have to bet it, and because again, it would just be fun money, it would just be for the hell of it, I'd take the better chance at making the money, and I'd go money line Arizona State. But I think that Arizona should win this game, and I think that about 3 to 4 points is accurate. I just laying 4 points against a team that hasn't truly proven themselves as being as good as everybody makes them out to be, yeah, I don't like it. That's my thoughts on the Arizona game. Belmont goes at 5. It was a 4:30 game, but because it's televised somewhere, they pushed it back because of something. I don't know what. Tails never fails until it did last year when we had heads, and it was heads. Correct. Victor, that is correct. Sorry. No, I did not bet on the Illinois game. Bet on North Carolina -5.5, Louisville -9.5. We just had some games start here a minute ago. We got the free play that I gave out on my free play video. It starts in a few minutes. All right, so let's do a free play. Let's see what we got that just barely missed the cut. I tell you one. Okay. I'll tell you one I want you to look at. This is just a lean. I want you guys to look at Richmond tonight at home versus Dayton. The line is accurate. The line should be, well, it opened up at 6.5. I had Dayton -5. Dayton was what? Number 5 in the country for me on my rankings this past week. And obviously they haven't done anything to lose that spot. But Richmond, I think nationally, Richmond is, I don't even know that they're in the top 100, which I think is a joke. I've got Richmond at 64th in the country. But Richmond matches up to the style of play that Dayton has very, very well. You're going to give me a home team that's worlds better than what, they're made out to be against a slightly overvalued Dayton team. You're going to give me 7 points? Yeah, I'll take it. I'll take Richmond at home with the points in a game that I think they have the ability to win outright. I'm not saying they will, but I think 6.5 is too much. Dayton is the second best team in the country. I don't know what world you live in, Irie. They are most certainly not. I don't care what ESPN says, but they are most certainly not. I've got them at number 5, and I'm being nice to them because they have played very well. Made me a lot of money too, but they're not a top 5 team. Like I said, they won't be top 15 when when tournament time comes. So I think that Richmond and the points over Dayton. What do you mean Dayton better than MSU? I never said that. They're ranked higher than MSU in my system right now, but they're also deserving of it for the way that they have played thus far versus the way Michigan State's played thus far. Yes, the Dayton Flyers. Very impressive team this year. Very fast team. As far as speed goes, they're just a hair bit slower statistically than Duke. Yeah, you guys got to start watching these mid majors, man. That's where the talent is. But yeah, I mean Dayton right now is number 5 in my rankings. I got Michigan State all the way back at 9. I don't know what you're talking about. Run where? About what? think I did that on one of those today. Well, you've probably heard of that team before. Yeah, where'd you get a number 2 ranking, Irie? Because I've got them ranked number 5. The national rankings have them at number 7, I think. So I'm actually giving, they're getting more credit in my rankings than nationally. Let's bet on Dayton versus Richmond's game. No, Irie, I'm not taking money lines because that's all you play. If you would like to take Dayton minus 6.5, I'll bet you. I'm telling you right now, Richmond may win this game outright. Y'all better watch out. I don't think they will. I still think Dayton will pull out the win, but Dayton shouldn't be favored in this matchup by 6.5. On paper, it looks like that, but not with the. I mean, Richmond and Dayton are too similar. They're way too similar. Yeah, Tar Heels showed out today. I think they did it because of Roy. Him hitting 880. I don't think Roy wanted to pass Dean Smith. All right. So there's one free play for you. Another free play that I want you to look at that I think is worth a shot is Troy minus 1. Troy and Arkansas State, very evenly matched. I mean, on paper, they're almost identical. I mean, their numbers are scary similar. But Arkansas State, on the road, never gets offensive rebounds. So if Troy just even tries to get offensive rebounds, that gives them enough of an advantage for me to take a home team and lay 1 point. Here's your money line play that I like. Middle Tennessee over Southern Miss. Money line's minus 130 at William Hill. I like Middle Tennessee on the money line minus 130. I like that play a lot. All right, we need 7 more likes, guys. And I'll give you a choice. We get to 50 likes, I'm gonna give it just a minute. I'm gonna give it 5 minutes. I've already given out a bunch of free plays anyway, but I'll give you a handful of games to choose from, and you guys can choose. right, 6 more likes. Five more likes. And while we're waiting on that, a couple of things. We have one top play just start. We've got another top play going tonight in college basketball, a daily top play. You've got till 6:30 p.m. to get the NCAA basketball game of the week if you'd like to play it. If it were to lose, you get 3 days of all plays for free. So make sure you jump on that, chasewins.com. Again, it's being pulled down at 6:30 p.m. And, yeah, I think that's it. Let's see how smart you are in upsets. Does somebody want to handle Irie for me about my upset record? I usually give out an upset a day. Kind of like Clemson beating Duke. Irie, you say give us, let's see how smart you are in upsets. You're the one bet Duke minus 700. I told you Duke was going to get beat. That's how good I am. Later on, let's see what else happened that week. Oh, that I said that Kentucky was going to get upset by South Carolina. That happened. So I think that I've proven to you, if anyone in the world, Irie, how good I am with upsets. All right, 4 more likes, guys. Come on. I got to go. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. So what have we given out so far? Abilene Christian, a lean on Richmond plus 6.5. Give out. I need to start marking the ones I give out. Oh, yeah. Columbus plus 190 as an underdog. I can't even remember all the hockey underdogs. So a lean on Abilene Christian, well, a free play on Abilene Christian, a lean on Richmond plus 6.5. Obviously, I did a free play video earlier. You had to go back and watch that one, which that one's irrelevant now because the game's already started. But I didn't give that out here. We talked about the Arizona State game, but I didn't give an official play in that one. I just kind of said what I would do if I were playing it, which I'm not. Also gave out Middle Tennessee on the money line as a free play. Troy as a free play. So we've given out a bunch of free plays. I remember I played the Blackhawks on a game of the month last year, but I don't remember what it was. I'd have to go back and look. All right. Let's see what you guys want. So we can do a couple of different things. I've got a couple in college basketball. Well, I've got a play in the NBA. I can do a play in college basketball. I can do two different ones in basketball. So one, I can keep a secret, and it'll just be a surprise what I give you. Or I can give you what I played in the Florida Baylor game. You guys choose. We're only at 47 likes, so come on, get 3 more likes and then tell me which game. A surprise game, my play in the Florida Baylor game, or NBA. No, it's not a big spread. I don't know if there is any big spreads tonight in the NBA. Come on, guys, 3 more likes. Five games. Okay. No, nothing is guaranteed, ever. Alright, seems like everybody wants a surprise game. Well, at least you guys know now that I do have a play in the Florida Baylor game. Okay. Let me look and see what the line is now. some reason, Five Dimes is running super slow, and so is William Hill. It's probably because I got this software running. Who's still in here? Walter, if you're still in here, give me the line on the Seattle Cal State Bakersfield game. All right, Cal State Bakersfield -1.5 at -$1.05. What's the money line on that game? If you look at this game on paper, Seattle holds a significant advantage stat-wise to Bakersfield in every single category. Every single category. But if you look, and obviously this comes from actually watching quite a few games involving both of these teams this year. This is not something that you will find by looking at a stat sheet, because if you look at a stat sheet, I mean, just based off stats, you would come up with Seattle -6. Well, being that I have watched quite a few games involving both of these teams this year, I did a deep dive into the teams that they were playing, where they struggled, how they struggled, and what facet they struggled in. Truth be told, Seattle should still be, per statistics, Seattle should be a 2.5-point favorite. I still don't buy it. Bakersfield, the way they play versus the way Seattle plays on the road, better three-point shooting, better offensive rebounding, better defensive rebounding. They box out. That's really the only stat either, is just boxing out on free throws that Bakersfield has a advantage in, which that just goes off of, it gets tied into your offensive and defensive rebounding. But when you can break it down and see how many times they out-rebounded their opponent coming off of a free throw, Bakersfield is actually in the top 50 of college basketball. There's you a fun fact that nobody in the country would be able to tell you, probably not even a statistician that works for either one of those teams. So, percentage-wise, I give Bakersfield a 78% chance to win the game. 1.5, I don't like laying that just because on paper Seattle should be laying 2.5 to 3 points. But I see Bakersfield winning this game at home by 3 to 5 points. You can do whatever you want to do. You want to lay the 1.5? Fine. That's fine by me, because I think that Bakersfield is the better team in this matchup. Seattle's the better team overall. Seattle will go farther in their own right. Bakersfield is the better team in this matchup, in my opinion. So I like the money line. I'll lay $1.15, or I did lay $1.15 on the money line. Five Dimes has got it. Mark is saying he can get money line at -$1.25. I think there's more value in playing that versus laying 1.5. Obviously, you lay less juice, but then all they have to do is win. They don't have to win by 2 or 3 or anything like that. So play it how you like. What was that game the other day? Tied at the half, then easy winner second half. That was Winthrop I think we had Winthrop -15.5. It was a top play. They were tied 34-34 going into the half, and I think Winthrop ended up winning by 27. It's a steel trap. So again, Cal State Bakersfield tonight. Play it how you want to. If you're using a local book and he doesn't allow you to play money lines in college basketball, I think that's insanity. But it's not the craziest thing I've ever heard. So you can lay the 1.5. I wouldn't lay any more than that, or I wouldn't lay over 2. But a money line on Cal State Bakersfield is by 2% just missed the cut of premium play. So I like them tonight on the money line minus 125 or minus a 1.5, whichever you want to do. So that's it. There's a handful of free plays for you guys. Again, if you want the game of the week, you have till 6:30 to purchase it. $50 winner, get 3 days for free. You can also purchase for $25. I have the daily top play. Well, I had 2 of them today. And no, you don't get a half price if you only purchase the late one because I charge $25 per day anyway. So there is still one going in later action tonight that you can still get on. Or you can get on a 3-day, 7-day, 30-day pass, whatever you like, and you'll get the rest of the premiums tonight along with the daily top play that's still left to play, and then go from there. But that's it for me. I'll get a free play done for tomorrow. But I will not be going live tomorrow as it is Sunday. May go live on Monday, depending, because obviously, like I said, Philadelphia for 1 day next week, so we will miss one of our regularly scheduled live days. And hopefully the new podcast will launch next week. All right, guys, I'm out of here. I will holler at you guys tomorrow. See you.